So what's up, YouTube? This is going to be a little different video. It's been a while since I've done a sit-down chit-chat kind of video like this, and it's been 2 years since I uploaded that 14-gram mushroom experience video, which I know a lot of my followers actually subscribed because of that video. And I've done a couple little updates and built the other channel that I haven't really been maintaining very much, but I just felt it was time to talk a little bit on this one. A lot has transpired in this last 2 years. I've made some major progress with both my mental health and my physical health. I've been trying to work out as steadily as I can and packed on a little bit more muscle and just keep my conditioning up. And I'm finding maintaining all of that really does a lot for my mental health, and it goes both ways. The more you improve your mental health, the more you will inspire yourself to improve your physical condition. And before I get rolling too far into this video, I just want to clarify that no matter what happens in life, it always goes forward. It always moves on. It may not be for better, it could be for worse, but without having some of these experiences through your life, you're never going to get to where you want to be. I am still really surprised on the positive reaction that I got from uploading that video and the amount of views that it got, how many positive comments were left and people actually reaching out to me privately. It was quite something else. And it's literally 2 years ago at this time that I uploaded that video. So from that December moving forward, I dove pretty far into psychedelics. Now that 14 grams is still the highest amount that I've ever taken, but over the course of the next 8 months, I was repeatedly taking mushrooms like 2 to 3 times a week, and amounts we're talking like anywhere from 5 to 10 grams. I went to some pretty far out places, and it was probably about that 7 or 8 month mark later in the summer that I had a major realization, and the trip was really showing me the amount of chaos and disorganization in my life. Not that it's that chaotic or disorganized, but the trip really picked away at the little things that are going on, and I just said to myself, I've got to get my shit together. Realistically, getting your shit together is all part of perspective. I am a homeowner, I pay all my bills, I own multiple vehicles. It's just the way that you actually look at yourself and the improvements that you can make. So at that time I decided that was it. I had to really start to push and grind away at the work that I had lined up, because I planned so far ahead. First thing was getting the RS, the old Impreza, the red Impreza RS, inside the garage and getting it stripped down so I could use the parts off of it for other vehicles. And yeah, it took me some time, but I pounded away at it. Now at that time I just had too many vehicles, and I had 2 vehicles that weren't running and 1 vehicle that I could use all the parts from to get the other 2 running. So that's what I ended up deciding to do. Getting all the parts off that red car, the engine block swapped into a 2011 car that I drove through that winter, just saved me a little bit of money, and then gave me all the rest of the parts that I could get the WRX together over that last winter. So during this time, I had started working full-time again, and my mushroom trips were a lot less. I was spending a lot more time in the garage, sometimes my full weekends in the garage, just to try and get this car finished so that I could have something to drive for the summer. I ended up selling the 2011 car. The red Impreza went to the scrapyard, so within so many months I was able to get rid of 2 vehicles. I've always been a very independent individual. I've always planned everything myself and tried to do everything myself and not have to rely on others. Just managing everything from my personal life to this YouTube channel, I mean, it's a lot of work. I kind of made things a little bit too complex for myself at times, and took on, you know, too many projects and too many hobbies and too many things fun on the side, that I wasn't really narrowing down and getting specific things that I really need to get done. Not that a car is a requirement in life. There's plenty of people riding a bicycle or walking to the store or their job or whatever. For me though, it's kind of what I built my whole career on, was fixing cars. So to have something that works half decent and keep it in top running condition was important to me. So spending as much time as I did on the car to get it where it is was an accomplishment for me. It's really not that big of an accomplishment, but just something to check off the list, if you know what I mean. Even during that time working on the car last year, doing all the body work and getting the suspension and brakes and everything like that done, and all the little knickknacks, I had still been tripping probably, once every 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that. And just moderate doses, like 3 or 4 grams, just to kind of have a good feeling of the psychedelic experience and not get too far out there, because I was just so busy. I found that working full time again really just didn't allow the amount of time that I needed to have a good solid trip, and then the recovery period afterwards. So what I was trying to do was plan my trips for Friday evenings and let them go into Friday night, and then I'd have a good 2 days of recovery before going back to work on a Monday. But the problem even with that was most of my work done in the garage is Saturdays, or was anyway. And to be so exhausted after a hardcore trip on a Friday night and then go into the garage on Saturday morning was not really happening as often as it should. And so I just realized, well, it's one or the other, and I decided I would have to start lessening the frequency of my mushroom trips, if not at all. Just stop the trips for a while. And as I come to the point where I knew I was going to pull in the Forester and start working on it, I kind of there's a few reasons why I ended up bringing the psychedelics to a halt, but just trying to prioritize my time was very important, and spending that time on the stuff that I actually needed to get done. So my last trip was actually back in August, where I had taken that 1P LSD, and I had done a little short video over on the other channel where I was kind of hiking the Rainbow Summit and talked a little bit about it there. Now that more or less brings us up to present day, and having such an extended break from any kind of trip has allowed my perspective to see the difference between being on a mind-altering substance week after week as opposed to not at all. You kind of get that perspective change when you're going in and you've never experienced psychedelics before, and then you experience them. It's almost a little bit of a reversal, but I've had a couple small issues. I can't stress enough how powerful psychedelics are. They're almost not of this planet. How could something interact with us in such a way that that just takes your consciousness away from you like it does? You can have such a bright, colorful, childlike experience where everything looks new, and you begin giggling and laughing over the silliest little things. But it can go completely the other direction. I mean, it can toss you into a roller coaster that's like speeding around in a sequence that never ends, and then all of a sudden you think it's all over with, and boom, you're going backwards and it's shaking like crazy, and it can be an extremely terrifying experience at the same time. I've been through quite a few of those terrifying experiences, and you'd have to ask yourself, like, why? Why would you push yourself to go through that? And the thing is you're just not expecting that. With psychedelics, you must expect the unexpected, because that's generally the way they work. Your mindset and the setting around you, it makes a big difference, but it can only do so much. The trip comes from within. What you're carrying with you may very well come out in the trip. And the fact of the matter is, you can just take too much, or the potency be too high, and you get on one of those roller coaster rides that you weren't expecting, and all you can really do is buckle the fuck up, space cowboy or cowgirl. There is a reason why I'm actually here filming this now, and it's more due to timing because just over a week before Christmas and I got canned from my job. The reason was that I wasn't a good fit for the company, and thinking about it, you know, before and after, I couldn't disagree with them. I'm not only has my perspective changed in this last 2 years, but I really know who I am in this world, and I just had the feeling that we were going to part ways at some point anyway, and I kind of left the ball on their side of the court to make that action, and they finally did. The timing isn't the best, but I know, like I said, I know who I am and I know what I can do, and finding a job isn't going to be the easiest thing in this smaller town, but like I said in the beginning of the video, life always moves on. Whether it's for better or worse, a new experience is going to happen. One of the key things that I've been able to pull out of these trips over the past 2 years is things like your knowledge and your experience and your skill set, your personal morals. These are things that people can't take away from you. They can't buy them from you. They can't discipline you to the point that you don't have them. It would take a psychological barrage in order to manipulate your mind into thinking those things weren't true. And not only do those things help define you as a person and determine how you're going to interact with others, but most importantly, do not allow somebody else to manipulate you into thinking otherwise. So needless to say, I've got a little extra time on my hands, and that's the main reason this video is being created right now. I do want to prioritize finding new work. I've got a couple prospects on the horizon. I do have something I believe I could fall back on if I need to. I always have YouTube. It's part of my income. It doesn't make me a whole lot, but it's something I always kind of, I like seeing that check from AdSense every month. I'm not complaining. But going into the future, I don't know if I'm going to take a little bit of time off because I just worked 14 months and didn't take a vacation, so I may take some extra time now and pull the Forester in and pull the engine out, get the head gaskets done on that so it's good to go for this next season. I may put it off depending on, you know, if I land work right away or not. It's all up in the air, and I'm going to play it by ear. I'm not too concerned. I've you know, got a little bit of savings going. I've got I invested quite a bit this last year, so I've always got stuff to fall back on. I am pretty confident that I will not be returning to the automotive industry. Probably a 95% chance. I've had my throat cut too many times, and for the amount of years I've put in and hard work that I put in to gain the experience that I have, and not even be able to implement it anymore at the level that I want to, I think that's it. I've put in my time, I've helped who I could, and it's time for me to move on to other things, whether they be bigger and better or not. It's time for a change in my life, and getting away from the negativity of automotive repair is only going to do me more good. But I am an automotive service technician by trade, and I will always do that here at home. That's why I built this little shop for myself, so I can work on all my own vehicles and make YouTube videos and do the odd neighbor or friend's vehicle so I can get them fixed up and do the same thing. It's great side money. It keeps me busy and allows me to make you guys videos so you can get some how-tos here and there and get a little inside of what I do here at home. Finding and landing a job outside the industry is going to be a little bit more difficult, absolutely, but I have confidence in myself and the amount of experience I have and the technical ability I have that I'm pretty sure it won't take very long for me to pick up something that I really enjoy. Having the extra time off right now, I think what I'm probably going to do is just go inside and down like 10 grams of mushrooms and just see what happens. No, I'm not. But yeah, I'm planning to have a trip here soon, just because I do have the extra time off. you know, working full-time days and then literally bringing home work at nighttime, just thinking about it, wasn't going to keep me in a good mindset to actually have a good trip. And now I just literally don't have to think about all of that silliness. That job was just child's play to me, and I can't believe I lasted so long. And I have been planning on uploading some new content to the other channel. It's nice to see that it continues to grow. It's over 400 subscribers now. And it's really the amount of views that I get on some of those videos that are surprising me for such a small channel. But obviously YouTube's doing a better job of recommending it over this one. And I'd really like to try and keep this structured as a automotive channel that people can learn with. I've got some really good topics that I want to go over. I just haven't been able to kind of, you know, come up with a game plan to actually make a video and talk about some of this stuff. But something that I want to talk about briefly right now is something I believe I've experienced since stopping psychedelics, is something called hallucinogenic persistence perception disorder. And I think I got that right, maybe I didn't, but it's HPPD for short. And what I've personally experienced is it seems to get triggered by an event or anxiety, or even the way that light sunlight can flicker in from the window, or it starts off a momentary trip and it's like 10 seconds long or 20 seconds long, and it's not like you see all kinds of crazy things, or your temperature drops, or you start looking over your shoulder or anything like that. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling that you're not, it's a feeling that you're not in reality, or you're not in your it's a strange feeling, let me tell you. And I guess the first couple times that it happened was actually in between trips, like maybe taking like 3 or 4 weeks off, and something would start to go through my mind, and then my mind would just start to race and wander, and that seems to be the worst of it. But it can momentarily block off your visual cortex, I guess, so it literally overlays visions in your mind when it happens. And like I mentioned before, psychedelics are just so powerful. They can do some things to the brain that science just still can't explain yet. Let's put it that way. But something I've had to kind of tell myself, and after so much time has passed by, is the brain is, the human brain, the human mind is such an amazing thing. To be able to go so far out and come right back is pretty amazing. But anyways, I'm going to keep this short. It's already gone on longer than I want, and I'm starting to get a little cold. Please go and check over Detox Proxy. I'll leave a link down in the description. I guess if you've gotten this far, it is the time of year. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. But more importantly, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here and you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button for me. Leave your questions and comments further down below. And I'll see you in the next one.